Good morning. This is going to be the All Signs reading. Hopefully, this week I can keep up. Last week I had a lot going on with my sales and a lot going on energetically. Sorry, my allergies are real bad this morning. A lot going on energetically last week, which really drained me. I mean, I was barely able to get out of bed most days. I think like Sunday through Wednesday, I slept last week. Um, I finally got to the point where I was like, you know what, I need to get out and get something done, which I think I'm going to do today. Today I thought, well, I'm just going to lay around. I might get, my all signs reading done. I'm so sorry. I might get my all signs reading done and that's it, and I decided, no, I'm going to get up and I'm going to get out for a couple hours and try to get some things done. I'm kind of on a deadline right now. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get started. The first card that I have is the Two of Swords. And so basically what I'm getting with this, you are stuck at a crossroads. And two choices are being presented. So this is all about having options. And sometimes options make you more attractive. This is a message that I channeled yesterday. Having more options makes you more attractive to people. Because if you're sitting around stuck, feeling like, and the feeling that I'm getting here is that sometimes we put people up on a pedestal and we consider them the prize. Can we be worthy enough for this person? What can we do to earn this person's love and attention and affection? What can we do to earn people's respect so that we'll be good enough for, or so that these opportunities can come to us? When actually the energy that you need to be in is knowing that you already are, like you are the prize. So start telling yourself, look, I am the prize and I don't have to earn anything. If anything, I wouldn't say earn, but if anything, you have to like show me. You have to come towards me. Because when you have, and I'm trying to keep this because I'm kind of at a crossroads myself right now. Because I have been teaching not to be conditional or not to have expectations of others. I am always learning and growing and changing myself. So pretty much where I'm at right now is, you have to love people unconditionally right where they're at and not have expectations of people, but yet at the same time have boundaries and put yourself first. And it's kind of a fine line. Basically, the message that I channeled over the weekend was, fuck it. You know what? I'm going to put myself first. And I say this all the time, but I literally got in that energy where I was like, I'm not going to care about anything or anyone other than myself from now on. Now when I said this, people kind of looked at me like maybe I had given up or I was mad. It really wasn't even that. It was the fact that, you get tired of being let down and disappointed by other people because they don't live up to your expectations. I'm so sorry. That's why I almost waited till a little bit later on today, but the messages were coming through, so please bear with me. But when you say, fuck it, I'm going to put myself first, I'm only going to care about myself, you release the expectations that you have on others, and you realize that basically you're giving to yourself what you expect others to. But then at the same time, when you just release the fact that, you're going to stop waiting on other people, stop putting people up on pedestals and doing more for them than you're doing for yourself, then they have no other choice but to look at you because, all of a sudden you are doing you. Maybe you've started dating, going out with other people, start doing things for yourself. And don't do these things with the intention of getting somebody because that never works. You really, literally have to be in that energy. of just doing you, saying, fuck it, you know, I am my own main priority. I'm going to put my own self up on a pedestal. But when you do that, you have options and you're more attractive to other people, to the people who you have been chasing. And a lot of times we chase people energetically. We say we're not chasing them. You know, maybe we're not texting them, calling them. Maybe we're not stalking them on social media or in real life. But when you sit around and obsess and worry about what they're doing and wonder about them, you know what? It's still an energy. And they can still feel that. So stop the suffering and the struggle behind that, and release that, and tell yourself that whatever you are meant to have, you will have. And as far as these choices go, I feel like this is all about choosing yourself. But not only choosing yourself, but options make you more attractive. And don't be scared to take a side road, a beaten path. Because it's not going to mess up where you're trying to go at. Or go to. Sorry. It's not going to mess that up, because you're still going to end up at the same location. And understand the journey is the location. So stop focusing on the end point and start enjoying the journey itself. That message is coming through. But don't be scared to take side roads, because you got to get to the point where you want to experience more things. You know, even if it's a conflict, even if it's something that isn't pleasant, get to the point where you want to experience those because you want to master them. This is all about self-mastery. So change your intention. The first thing I got when I saw this card here was, I thought Pisces. So, you know, some of you might be dealing with the Pisces. And that's a watery energy. The Pisces is. I looked up this card, and this card is all about resources. And usually I don't read this, but I thought it was kind of interesting. So let me go ahead and read it. 34. Make sure I got the right one. Yes, I did. The House of the Fish is where resources can be drawn upon. Any card in this position will be quite positive. If it were the Scythe, for example, it would mean that you can make more resources for yourself by cutting away and trimming down. If it were the Book, it would show that you could keep the resources to yourself a secret at this time. If it were the Park or Garden, it would show you would gain resources by meeting other people. So this card right here is all about resources. So I do feel like as we go along in this reading, this card will make more and more sense to us as far as what kind of resources are available to you right now. Now, I know a lot of people, a lot of readers do like a play on numbers on cards and stuff. I've never really done that. I've never really been big on numbers. That's just not really my specialty. My specialty is more timelines, more dimensions, more illusions, more past lives, that kind of thing. And you know, each reader is different. And so the messages that I have been getting lately is that if you are drawn to my channel, I'm learning more and more that the people that watch my channel, I believe, are on a spiritual journey. Whether it be a twin flame journey, whether you are spiritually awakening, you have found my channel for a reason, because I am a spiritual teacher and I do that through cards. So I did want to get that out there. Temperance. Temperance is all about balance. And you see here how she seems, Alice seems, these are my Alice in Wonderland cards, how she seems to be meditating. The way that you meditate and the way that you balance and ground yourself is presence. And the way that you are more present, and I probably said this before in videos, but you know, maybe now you're to the point where if you've heard me say this before, maybe you're to the point where you're ready to grasp it, because I do feel like there's been lots of downloads of clarity over the past 2 weeks, where maybe you've even had an aha moment where, you know, something's happened. You've been like, man, like what she said in that video is true. So with that being said, the way that you're present is you do not worry at all about what's happened already. In fact, what I would like for you to do is the next time you have a conflict or something with somebody, I want you to look at it, okay, be like, okay, what happened here? This is obviously some kind of pattern that I've been stuck in, maybe a cycle of wash, rinse, repeat. I've been saying that a lot lately. We get stuck in a loop. So do take a look at it so that you can get out of that loop and let it go. I mean, this can be a conflict at work, because that's been coming up a lot lately. A lot of times people are having a lot of issues with people at work. That message has been coming up. And the reason why, and I'm going to try to tie all this together because I've got like 3 messages coming out at once. They're just kind of all coming out. Hopefully I can backtrack because sometimes I lose my train of thought. The reason why you're having conflicts with people is because as you raise your vibrations, sometimes it triggers lower vibrational people. I call them, lately I've been calling them soulless ones because they almost seem soulless. And so we trigger them. And I've just been blocking them, been like, fuck you, you're blocked. But then, I realized that's kind of taking away from my mission of being a light worker, of actually transmuting lower energies. So it's been really, really draining. I had a friend absolutely remove a negative entity from me Saturday. He said it wasn't too big, but it was there and he was able to remove it. And I think it's just from all the transmuting I've been doing. So, do definitely shield yourself. And the way that you shield yourself is by releasing the shit. After you have that conflict, release it. Look at it as a demo, a simulation, a simulated reality experience lesson that you yourself did, your higher self. And it's over with now. Don't dwell on it. Don't focus on it. Don't obsess about it. Don't say, oh, I should have said this. I should have said that. Let it go. Tell yourself, I'm on a brand new timeline now. And I'm in new energy. Take a salt bath, sage your home, and prepare for a new timeline. But how you practice, I'm going to try to get back now. How you practice presence is do not worry about stuff that's happened. Do not worry about tomorrow. Even, even 5 minutes from now. Don't just be absolutely present. Use all of your senses. Feel and touch what you're sitting on. Take in all the smells, all the sights. And stay there and clear your mind. And this is how you start a meditative practice. A lot of times people think it's mantras and stuff. No, it's being present. And stop trying to figure everything out, because when you try to figure everything out, you're creating scenarios. So take a break from the demos, the mind chatter for a while, the ego mind, and just practice being, and practice being present, and recharge your battery, because I'm sure that you will have more demos coming up real soon and you want to be prepared for them. And to clarify that card, we have the Sun card. And this is a very, very positive energy. And I am getting a certain amount of masculine energy as well with this. We all have both energies. Every single human being on this planet has both energies, feminine and masculine. And sometimes when we are balancing, and there's a balance card here. Which one was it? That Temperance card, the one I just got off of. When we are balancing ourselves, we have to balance both energies. And so sometimes you might find yourself, like last week, I was totally in my masculine energy. I was hanging out with the boys. I was one of the boys. I'm out here in these streets hustling like a man. All feelings set aside, just, really going after it hard. This week, I have been all feminine. I have been balancing my feminine energy, really tapping into my female powers. That whole, I am the prize. What do I look like? Worrying about whether or not you want me in your life or not, or whether or not I'm good enough for you. You know what? I know I got the sauce. So that type of balancing. And sometimes we have to go back and forth with that. So I feel like maybe for some people, maybe you might be working on your masculine energy. And if that's the case, you'd be working more on getting things done. The masculine energy is more about logic. It's more about doing. So, possibly the message that's coming through is that possibly, you're recharging right now, recharging your battery, so that you can work on this masculine energy and get more done. I know a lot of times I have to sit in the house and kind of chill for a few days, and then I get out and I feel really recharged and I'm able to go out and get it. But while you're at home meditating and relaxing and chilling, if you have, if you can take the time off, I know that's one of the joys of working from home now, working for myself, because before I really had no time to recharge my battery. I had to just keep pushing when I work for somebody else. But even when you do work for somebody else, when you get home in the evening, turn your phone off, stay off of social media, turn off the TV, meditate or take a nature walk and recharge your battery so that you can balance your energies, or so that you can manifest more things in your life, because the Sun card really is about doing and getting things done, but you have to be balanced in order to do that. We have the Five of Swords, and with the Five of Swords, I feel like this is about cutting away things. Once again, about clearing patterns, and this has been a theme, like an ongoing theme in my videos for 2 weeks. If you, since you are watching my video, I don't say since, because that doesn't make any sense, but since you're watching my video, once again, you're on a path of spiritual awakening. So you have different patterns and cycles that you're becoming aware of right now that you're clearing out. And a lot of times we get stuck in that loop and we don't know why. I mean, look at all of your relationships. They probably have like that same factor, that same thing. Maybe it's the same setup, the same makeup in each one of them. And you're like, man, why do I always get cheated on? Why do I always get lied to? It's because that is playing in the back of your mind. And it's a self-esteem issue. You've got to know, like I said, that you are the prize, and take others down off of a pedestal. And know that you are worthy of love. You are love. And whatever you go looking for, you're going to find. So if you go into a relationship optimistic and you tell yourself, I am loving, I am love, I'm worthy of love, I trust this person. The reason why I trust this person is because I know that I align to love. I align to these things which I seek, because whatever I'm seeking is seeking me also. And when you do that, you will naturally align to a higher vibrational situation. But you need to stop looking for fixer-uppers. I said this the other day. It used to be a time if there was a fixer-upper within a 100-mile radius, I would find them, because I was like, cool, I can fix them up. And then they'll be obligated to me. They will never leave my side. So it's like I made a man, raised a man, fixed a man, created a man the way that I wanted to. I conditioned him the way that I wanted to. And now he can never leave. Well, those are very heavy expectations for somebody to live up to. Wouldn't you much rather someone to be there because they want to, not because they feel obligated? And then what happens if they don't meet your expectations? I mean, you feel shitty, don't you? So why don't you start with yourself and get in that energy I was talking about, where all you care about is yourself. Even if you're a parent, that still is necessary, because it makes you a better parent. Ancestors, generations. So once again, this card has been coming up more and more. This is all about those cycles. And we get these patterns and we get these things from our family. These are things and situations and beliefs that we take on. And you will know what they are, because they will involve how you view gender. How do you view the opposite sex? If you're a female, do you tell yourself men always cheat, men always run off, men always leave you? I know I was raised on one hand, I'm grateful for it, but my mom raised me to be very, very independent and never need a man. Never need a man, because you know what? Men cheat, men lie, men leave. So I always believe that. I always align to it. But I always told myself I don't want to ever be dependent upon a man financially, because they have so much power over you then. I mean, that just like freaks me out to even think about the fact that, this man can throw me out of the house if I don't see things his way. I mean, it freaks me out. I can't even begin to imagine. But on the other hand, it has affected me to where I don't know how to receive. So I've always been the giver. I've always been like in my masculine energy. This literally put me in my masculine energy, where I'm the breadwinner, I'm the sugar mama. So, it's all about balance, and you achieve this balance when you clear out these cycles and you really face yourself, and you balance out those energies, those feminine and masculine energies, which is, where I'm at right now. Four of Pentacles. This here is all about awaiting energy. This is almost like having a place set at the table and waiting around. And that's what I was talking about earlier, about a person who has more options. Have you ever noticed that a person who has better self-esteem always has the better job, always has the more loving, caring relationships? It's just, they come together. I mean, when you have higher self-esteem, you feel good about yourself. You know that you are the prize and that you are worthy of amazing things. Guess what? That's what you're going to have. But if you have low self-esteem, you're going to find yourself in toxic situations, abusive situations. You're not going to want to leave, because, we get addicted and codependent upon others, because, usually these type of people, when you first meet them, they make you feel so good, don't they? Oh God, it's like, this is everything I've been needing. This is what I've been missing. It's amazing. Then they slowly start taking it away, and maybe even they start disapproving of you. And maybe they start gaslighting, or gaslighting is a big one I've been through. Like I said, just disapproval, just little things you do just start irritating. They're just not good enough anymore. And so you become more and more dependent upon this person. Well, here, I'll do this, I'll do that, approve of me. Before you know it, a lot of times these situations even become physically abusive, because like somebody had told me when I was going through my battered women counseling, because I was a battered woman for a couple of years, and it started off just like this. And the lady said in this counseling session, it was like a group that I was in at one of the shelters I stayed at, and she said, if you went out on a date with a guy, and the first night you went out on a date with him, he just beat the shit out of you. She didn't say shit, but I'm saying that. You would be like, fuck this, I'm out of there. That's the reason why it's systematic. It starts with the mind. And so that's the reason why you have to know who you are. You have to, and you have to be like, you know what? I am the only thing I care about right now. Because if not, if you do not have that self-mastery, that self-discovery, anybody can come in and rearrange furniture in your head. And I know you know what I'm talking about, because a lot of you out there have experienced this and are still experiencing this. And these type of connections are very hard to walk away from, because they have you so stuck. It's almost like an addiction. It's like leaving a drug. So if you're in that type of situation, man, I send you all kinds of love and light. And this video is going to be a little longer than usual, because a lot of messages are coming out. This is the Pope. And I do feel like this has to do with, and some of you might even, a lot of times these abusers or these toxic situations that we find ourselves in, there is a religious link to them. Because just like I said here, when we have to clear out patterns about how we feel about gender, sometimes we were raised in a religion to where those gender beliefs are very, very ingrained in us, that the man is the dominator, that he is supposed to be like basically like our master. And so if you're a female and you're in an abusive situation, Or if you're a masculine, you know, and maybe you saw your mom raised like this, you know, your mom go through like a relationship like this, that would be a pattern that you've been stuck in that you need to clear. And I'm always talking in my videos. I was one of Jehovah's Witnesses for 20 years, and it made it very, very hard for me to leave the marriage that I was in, even though it was very unhealthy and I was very unhappy. I had to jump through all kinds of hoops to finally get a divorce. And after that, I ended up, you know, leaving the sect, the cult anyway, you know. So do definitely take a look at that. Ten of Cups. This is a completion of a cycle. So what I'm getting with this is that is the end of, and the cups are all about romance and love. So I do feel very strongly that you are waking up to the fact that you are seeing what is love and what isn't love. Basically, most of what people think is love is codependency. I need you. I need you to fulfill me. You know, you make me feel this way. So you're always chasing that feeling from them again. And, you know, sometimes they withhold it. And like I said, they do that purposely to hurt us. So that's the reason why, you know, I feel like a lot of you, and it might even be something that I have said in one of my videos that is finally resonating with you now. Sorry, my dog's making all kinds of noise. So you are at an end of a cycle, and this has really involved you really facing yourself, really that self-discovery, knowing why you do things. You know, possibly, maybe, I know my dad, the man who I thought was my dad, walked out on us when I was 8. So I've always had the core wound of rejection, of feeling rejected, feeling abandoned. And so I've always found people that I knew would stick no matter what. And that's not necessarily a good thing. There are worse things than being lonely. You'll be abused, used, thrown away, have, you know, that furniture rearranged in your mind. So that cycle is ending, thank God. Give thanks for the blessings of love soon to come your way. Know that you deserve to be and have all your heart truly desires. This is beautiful, and that not much needs to be said about this. But like I said, that involves taking others down off a pedestal and feeling like you have to earn other people's approval or love. So I keep saying love, but you know, that's not love. Love is not approval. Love is not validation. Love is without conditions, without expectations. It's pure. It's untainted by all of that. You know, this 3D conditioning in this physical world that we live in. And it's funny that, you know, I said the world that we live in, and we have the world card. And it's also on a chessboard, which is really interesting too, because I teach timelines. And once you can see past the constraints of time, because time does not exist, there's only energy. Basically, the soul is the most powerful energy on the planet. I mean, it's more powerful than nuclear energy, because your soul right now is in several places at one time. All of your past timelines, where you're at now, your future timelines, everything is all happening at the same time. And so what we align, look at this chessboard as like each square is a different timeline. And we align to these different squares depending on where we vibe at. And you have to get to the point where you can see the physical world as the illusions, because I say this, you guys should know this by heart by now. We are divine beings having human experiences that we simulate through our mind by what we believe to be true. So once you do that, and you know, anytime one of these experiences come up, you can look at it and be like, I mastered that. Give me more. Because my soul wants to learn and expand and grow, because that's what I'm here for. And that's how you need to start seeing the physical world that you live in. The key to prayer is to forget what I think I need. A lot of times our soul will attract situations that we don't even know how the hell they came up. I mean, I know I've had some situations over the past couple of weeks. I've been like, how did I align to that? I'm staying positive, really trying to work with the story that I tell myself, but yet, you know, something will still come up. And it's discouraging because you think maybe I've gone backwards, but you can't go backwards because you're always moving forward. And it's like, it's cyclic, it's cycles that we go through. But the reason why is because there might be something that you are unaware of that's even hiding in your shadow somewhere. And as you align more and more to your soul, you'll understand it all. But until then, just trust the process and understand that whatever's happening is taking you where you need to be at, and it's showing you something and you're learning something, and lessons will be repeated until they're learned, and you will finally get out of that cycle of that wash, rinse, repeat when you're stuck in that loop. So look for any patterns and work on clearing those. We have the lightning card, and as soon as I saw this, I was thinking power. How do you step into your power? By not needing anybody else. That's what I was talking about before. Like, man, just the idea of going to live with some man in his house and who has money, who takes care of me. A lot of women love that idea. No, that freaks me the hell out because it's so powerless. You hand your power over to somebody. I look for balance in all things now. You know, it has to be an equal exchange of energy, for one, and two, and this isn't just about material power. This is about not needing other people to like you, not needing other people to accept you, not needing other people to make you feel any kind of way. Give that to yourself. Check in with yourself daily and ask yourself, what do I need? What can I give to myself today? That is how you step into your power. We have this eye card, and as soon as I saw this eye, I thought third eye. And you will know when your third eye is opening, because I know I had headaches, a lot of headaches. And sometimes this third eye will open because of a tragedy. I know I started on my spiritual journey when my mom died, because it was so traumatic for me, because she and I were very enmeshed. We were very codependent with each other. And I really couldn't think or do for myself. And, you know, I was in my 40s. And so once my mom died, it was very traumatic. It was very hard. It was almost like that umbilical cord was finally cut. And because of the trauma, my third eye started opening. So oftentimes this happens as a result of a tragedy. But you will start seeing through the veils into like the other worlds, other dimensions, to know that there's more than this world here. Well, let me read this postcard. Dearest you, if you allow your awareness to settle in, you will hear a whispering sweetness and encouragement to you. You will know the truth of things that cannot be discerned through the material world. Wow. The receiver for this kind of essential knowing is your intuition, which is your sixth sense, but the primary navigational system of your soul. Tell me that was not a synchronicity just now. You're entering the age of consciousness. It's time to accept that the paranormal is normal. Human beings are multisensory, multidimensional beings. Spirit infuses all things, and your soul's job is to discover those essential truths here on earth. Wow. Were we all agreed to play? Today, trust your spidey senses, read between the lines, tune into the stories behind the stories, and your world will show you miracles. Fear not, for we are right here, and Spirit loves you. Trust the invisible. Wow. I promise, like, I don't read these before I do this, because it's so magical when they do align to my message. And I feel like this was perfect. Wow. Well, thank you so much for watching, and if you would like to have a personal reading or to know what's blocking you or what you need to work on to manifest more in your life, or if you would like to make an energy donation, which are always appreciated, I will include in the description of the video my contact information. Thank you for watching.